Chapter 14, Marvellous Medicine, number 4. Back in the kitchen once again, George, with Mr. Cranky watching him anxiously, tipped half a pint of engine oil and some antifreeze into the giant saucepan. "Boil it up again," cried Mr. Cranky. "Boil it and stir it." George boiled it and stirred it. "You'll never get it right," said Mrs. Cranky. "Don't forget, you don't just have to have the same things, but you've got to have them in exactly the same amounts as those things." "And how can you possibly do that?" "You keep out of this," said Mr. Cranky. "We're doing fine. We've got it this time. You see if we haven't." This was George's marvellous medicine number 4, and when it had been boiled for a couple of minutes, George once again carried a cupful of it out into the yard. Mr. Cranky ran after him. Mrs. Cranky followed more slowly. "You're going to have some mighty queer chickens around here if you go on like this," she said. "Dish it out, George," cried Mrs. Cranky. "Give a spoonful to that one over there." He pointed to a little brown hen. George knelt down and hauled out a spoon with the new medicine in it. "Chick, chick," he said. "Try some of this." The brown hen walked over and looked at the spoon, and went peck. "Ouch!" it said. Then a funny whistling sound came from its beak. "Watch it grow!" shouted Mr. Cranky. "Don't be too sure," said Mrs. Cranky. "Why is it whistling like that?" "Keep quiet, woman," cried Mr. Cranky. "Give it a chance." They stood there, staring at the brown hen. "It's getting smaller," said George. "Look at it, Dad. It's shrinking." And indeed it was. In less than a minute, the hen had shrunk so much that it was no bigger than a newly hatched chick. It looked ridiculous.